Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Bruce here. Welcome to the big show. It's Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. We're here to talk about cruise ship news and travel news live on Traveling with Bruce. I'm your buddy Bruce. I'm in a top secret location here in Calgary. We can't divulge this. Jennifer and I we're on the lam, homeless, and we can't tell anybody where we are. We're good. We're okay. We're fine. We're on the run, but we're okay, and we're pacing ourselves. We're good hiders. How's that? Our daughter knows where we are, and sometimes that's a problem, but generally it's okay. We're generally all right, and I thank you all for popping in and seeing us here tonight from wherever you are in the world. Hopefully, you're figuring out we're on the air. I noticed that it might be that my notification didn't work today. Kind of curious. Those of you who are here, did you guys get a notification that this show was going to be on at 8 o'clock tonight? Kind of curious whether or not this worked for you, because I know as I'm speaking to you now, the notification is going out that I'm live, and some of you are probably catching up with me. Those of you also who have been kind enough to throw a thumbs ups our way, if you're able to hit the thumbs up button while we're hanging out together, please do help us out. That helps us because YouTube will put the word out that this is a show with a lot of really good engagement between viewers and host, and they'll invite others to come on over here and check us out. So. Thank you all for helping out with the thumbs up meter, letting me know what number you are. Craig O is here. Glad you're doing a live event. This is wonderful. Sharon, hi, Bruce. Long time no see. I'm number 5 here. Nathan, I'm number 7, buddy. Number 7, thumbs up. Ms. M, greetings from sweltering Maple Ridge. Gas, $1.90 a liter. That's Canadian. About 3.7 of those will take a U.S. gallon. So we're talking about $7 for a U.S. gallon in Canadian money. Probably 525, 550 American. We call that yikes. That's what we call. Ms. M, number 8, thank you as well. Nathan, hello, TV family. We're in the lower 80s around Asheville. I believe that's North Carolina. Gas holding strong at 3.49 a gallon in this area. 236 days till my next cruise. No, I am not counting. I'm not counting. Just letting you know, it's 236 days without counting down how many days it is, just to be clear about that. Well, what's the price of gas in your neighborhood, everybody? Let me know. Donnell is here from Cork, Ireland. Hello, Bruce. I am number 9 on this list. Welcome, my friend from Cork. Janice Gregory is here. How you doing? Number 10, 339 for gas where I am, and I hope you are well. Shady Hill Homestead. Hey, Bruce, we're number 11 over here. Jeannie, hey, hello again, Bruce. Hello to all the TWBers out there. Bill and Jeannie are here for the big show from East Tennessee, where I think it was 84 today. Welcome to all of you from everywhere. Sharon, fess up, Bruce. You and Jen are in the witness protection program. Well, we actually run it. See, we help others. Nah, I'm kidding. No, we're just on the lam right now. We're laying low here. Number lucky 13 is here. Scott Bell. How you doing there, buddy? Thank you. Craig O, yes, about a half an hour ago, Craig O was here, and I'm glad that you're with us. Janice, yes, I did, says Jan. I'm not sure what's going on here. Super Westmount says no. Sharon, I actually did a notification. I did get a notification this week, so you did get it. So that was it. Craig got the notification. Janice got it. Super Westmount didn't. Sharon, I actually got a notification. Ms. M, I was notified. Kirk Brunson, hi, Bruce. Kirk from the Big Apples here. And yes, I did receive the notification. So that's good. I'm really happy to hear this because I was curious. It didn't look like it had gone out properly. Occasionally it'll do that, but folks are popping in. How you doing, everybody? Nathan, yes, I got one during the sponsor member show and when you went live for the big show, and that's what I was also curious about. I'm glad to see that. YouTube does promote the show, and if you hit the thumbs up button, they measure the thumbs ups versus the viewership, and as these percentages grow, which it always does here, they start to recommend this show to others out there that are interested in cruising, traveling, And we may find that people come here who've never been here before. It's fantastic. Cloud 7 Travel. Good evening, Uncle Bruce. Laugh out loud at the top secret location. I won't let people know where you are staying then. I am number 20. Thank you very much for that, Cloud 7. Kirk, I'm number 13 on the thumbs up meter. Kevin Chapman, the author, is in the house. Happy to see everybody. Central New Jersey is rainy and the high 70s today. But gas is down to $3.99 a gallon. I'm thumbs up number 21. Thank you, sir, very much for that. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to pop in and say hi to us. Nikki, hey, everybody. Greetings from Jacksonville, Florida. Robert Blend is here, too. He says, hello, Bruce, from rainy Boston. I have 2 cruises booked on Norwegian, Mexican Riviera, and the Eastern Caribbean on the Encore out of Miami in February. I did get the notice that you're on, and gas is $4.24 here in Boston. Craig, I had to look it up. I think I'm number 4. Right on, pal. Thank you very much for these thumbs ups. All of you so much. You guys are great. Eddie Albert, hey, Jen and Bruce, how you doing? So glad weather's great in Charlotte, North Carolina, and gas is $3.65. 9-day cruise on Celebrity, saved for no testing with vaccinated folks. Just have 4 jabs. I'm so excited for the cruise on Celebrity. Right on, Eddie. Craig, California. Everyone's bragging because regular is down to $4.61, but is usually hovering around $4.99 in the cheapest stations. Paul Jordan, number 24. I received the notification. Hi, Bruce, from Melbourne, Australia. Wow, that's awesome, Paul. Thank you for joining me from down under. Craig, that was in Bakersfield, California. Alan Carter's here. I'm number 18. Rock and roll. Thanks, man. $1.36 a liter for gas. Alan Carter from Calgary, if I recall. Sharon, 30 thumbs up, 70 to go. Well, this is awesome, guys. 30 thumbs ups already. Keep these thumbs ups coming in, kids. We want to get to 100 on this show. Sometimes we hit 100 live on the air, which is incredible. Sometimes we hit 100 on the reruns, but we always get over 100. But thank you. Hit those thumbs up button right now. Find that button, hit it for us. Tell me what number you are. Give us some momentum for this show. Eddie, I'm number 14. Robert, I'm number 12. Jeannie, gas here, 346, and we're down to 78 Fahrenheit. It's cooling off. Right on. Gas is coming down. The temperature's coming down. Terry Gallant, Royal to drop pre-cruise testing for vaccinated passengers as of September 5. Conditions apply. Carl B is in the house. Hi, all. $2.99 for E85 regular, $3.25 for regular here, and 85 degrees, 29.4 Celsius. Right on. I think that $2.99 is for that. Isn't that the ethanol blend? Isn't it? Yeah, that's right. Then $3.25 for regular. Right on. Steven Stair is in the house tonight. Hello, Bruce. I'm camping for the week way up in Mackinac City, Michigan, I believe. Mackinac. I have crossed the Mackinac Bridge with Jennifer. It's been a while, but we remember it. Patrick, number 32 on the thumbs up meter. Gas is $3.79 a gallon. It's 85 degrees in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Thanks for the live show tonight. You got it, Patrick. Every Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time, we are live on this show, the big show, right here on Traveling with Bruce, and on at 7 o'clock Eastern time. If you're a sponsor member of this channel, if you join this channel, there's a join button down here. You nail that thing, become a member. You get to join us at 7 o'clock Eastern for the Hangout show, just for sponsor members. You can ask me anything you want. We talk about all kinds of stuff over there. You never know what the subject is over there. Anthony Fortuna, can you explain this $40 charge that Bermuda charges? I'd love to ask that question of Sharon. I wonder if Sharon might have the answer to that question. Love to know. Do you know what that deal is? Cloud 7 Travel. It was $135.9 liter at Costco last night here in Calgary. I only put in $50, as I think it'll get cheaper yet this week or next. $135 is the lowest price we've had in several months, but I think you're right. We might go even lower than that. Rocky Grasso. Hi, Bruce and everybody. Number 20 or 21 for the thumbs up meter tonight. Gas is $3.65. That's up from $3.57. So $3.65 versus $3.57 when I bought gas last week here in Chesapeake. Although I've noticed lately it's kind of hanging around 89, 90 a barrel. It might go a little lower yet. We'll see. Jimmy Rivera, question: what are your thoughts on the new Norwegian Viva, the Norwegian Viva ship? I've heard that Norwegian is coming up with a new version of ship. I don't have thoughts on it yet, but probably next week I'll probably be talking about it a bit more as more news comes out. Ann Rogers, number 33, thumbs up, 159.9 a liter in Ancaster, Ontario. Right on. And thank you for being here. Sharon, Royal is dropping testing, but some destinations like Canada and Bermuda still require pre-cruise testing. Sharon, Bermuda has a TSA travel authorization application that all visitors need to complete, and that costs $40 a person. There you go. Maybe not too popular with certain travelers. And sometimes that can be the difference between people wanting to go or not, but it's a beautiful place. Bermuda is, and it's popular. There's definitely no question about that. Terry Gallant, cruise stock market question right now. What spooked the market today, and how did cruise stocks fare among with all the others? How did they work out today? Well, I'll tell you, the stock market today had a rough day. It was down 643 points on the Dow, but it's the first time in a good 2-3 weeks that we've even had a pullback of any significance in the markets. Now, on cruise ship stocks, Royal Caribbean, they lost $1.87 today to close at $37.78. Norwegian lost 63 cents to close at $12.55 a share, and Carnival was off 48 cents to $9.39 a share. Now, none of the cruise lines make money at this point. They are still technically and realistically still losing money. And the trick of it is here is that the cruise lines have had everything go against them, as probably you all know. All the news that has been coming out on cruise lines has been nothing but terrible the last 2 years with COVID and then all the restrictions and all the lockdowns. Now, the cruise lines have raised about $120 billion in cash over the last 2 years, and they have rolled over their debt, which is what they always have done in the past, but they've added additional debt to pay operating costs, keep ships in best condition possible, pay the insurance premiums on these vessels, all their listing fees, and all of their costs, registration, everything else. And then, of course, they've had to pay a lot of money for staff that are either working or not working, and or they've had to arrange transportation for hundreds of thousands of workers, first getting home and then get them back. And now the gear up is on. I can tell you that one area of the cruise business that you probably don't think about, you wouldn't necessarily think about, that costs an absolute fortune to operate, and doesn't really make the money directly. It's an indirect money generator. And I'll tell you what I mean. The one area that I think about is because a friend of mine, a really good buddy of mine, he had one of his children working for Princess Cruise Lines, and he was a performer. He was one of the dancers and singers in these Broadway type shows that they put on, and variety shows they put on. And of course, entertainment has been a hallmark of cruising, right from the 70s and the 80s right up to now. And the big theaters that are built on board these ships are just amazing looking venues. And they have their I would say the cruise line and the cruise ship have their in-house troupe of performers that put on all these spectacular numbers. Well, to get these, let's call them kids, because I think once you're hitting 30, 35, you're over the hill now. 35 and under, for sure. These kids, they work their butts off, and I can tell you that before my good friend, before his son could even get on a ship, he had to go to Los Angeles for rehearsals and costume fittings. And this was a month. This was at least a month of 5 days a week or more of rehearsal time, dress rehearsals, choreography, you name it. And these kids had to learn, uh, they put on a show that might be a 1 hour, 15-minute show. They put on two a night for say the first night, the third night, the fifth night, the last night, and then they did other duties on board the ship in between all of that. And those 14 kids plus the costume people plus the choreographers plus all the admins people that to handle all this stuff. Then you had the musicians in the band, you had those guys, and the technical people inside the showroom, the lighting people, the sound people, the backstage people. You're talking about, a lot of folks here for each ship in the fleet. And if they didn't have the show, there would be complaints. I mean, there has to be a show, and so these kids would be working their tails off for weeks prior to the show. Then they'd be on their 5-month contract, and then they'd get a month off, and then they'd go back to LA for another set of rehearsals for a whole new series of numbers on another ship that they would go on. They would get these 6-month rotating contracts, and they'd be on one ship for 6 months, another one for 6 months, another one for 6 months. So these choreographers in Los Angeles, they were constantly reviewing what performances these kids were going to be making on which ship, and they would rotate in their staff and their music directors and their musicians, and the logistics of this whole thing. Just think about Princess Cruise Lines with 13, 15 ships, Holland America with their 18 ships. I mean, you're talking about an army of people that do that one thing. And for you and I as passengers on a cruise ship, we don't think about the show during the day. We think about the show after dinner. We go to the show, we watch it for an hour and a half, and then we go to the casino, walk around the ship, and go to bed. That's it for us. That's the whole thing. An hour and a half, maybe 4 shows for the entire cruise, and that's the end of it. But what they had to do to put that on for us is an absolute logistical feat of modern engineering, modern everything, incredible juggling of people. And of course, sometimes there's injuries and there's medical attention. Sometimes you have to fly in a replacement for someone who comes down very ill, whatever. I mean, it's the people business, unbelievable. The casino, you can measure how they're doing by how much money goes through the slot machines and through the tables and so on. But the entertainment is something that doesn't actually bring money into the ship. It's not like you're paying an admission to get into the show. Maybe someday you will, but not right now. It's quite an amazing thing. So the logistics of it all is quite amazing. The cruise lines right now are really struggling to financially to break even. The good news is, of course, with the lowering of the standards to get on the ship, more people will now go cruising just because it's wide open to all. Of course, you and I have to decide, do we want to go on a cruise ship knowing that everyone on this ship does not get tested anymore, and that we don't wear masks anymore, and we do not know who and who is not vaccinated? That's a personal decision you have to make for yourself. But my guess is that out of all the people that are now eligible to go on a ship starting, say, in a few weeks, we may have cruise lines finally able to fill up their ships with more passengers. Now, what I've heard lately, and some of you might be able to fill me in on this, is I've heard lately there are sales being bandied about, specials, deals, cruise deals. And I kind of wonder, with the news that we keep getting now, economic news that we're getting, we know interest rates are going to go higher. We know inflation is still 8% in North America, but we heard today that Citibank in the United Kingdom, in London, their office came out with a projection of what inflation was going to be like in Britain, in the United Kingdom, in January. Now, I heard last week Bank of America predicted that the inflation rate in the UK in the new year would be 13%. This morning, Citibank called it 19%. Now, you get 19% inflation in an industrialized country like the United Kingdom. This is it's indicative that it's higher elsewhere as well. It can't be just one country. Now the question is, what does this mean for Europe? What does this mean for North America? What does this mean for travel? What does this mean for airfares, hotel rates? What does it mean for cruising costs? And this is what we all want to know. So, of course, many travelers are right now looking for a winter getaway. They're looking for a Caribbean getaway. They're looking for a fall getaway. They're looking for a springtime getaway next year. Well, where are you going to go? You're going to go where you can get the best bang for your dollar, especially if you're traveling with a family. If you got mom and dad and a couple of kids, you are looking for the best pricing you can get. And the kind of pricing that I am hearing about now for places like Disneyland and Disney World are so unbelievable. The numbers are so sky high that I can see how cruise lines are looking to make their mark. But I'm hearing right now that there are more and more offers for really good deals on cruise ships because cruise lines want to fill up their ships with paying passengers. They've been basically filled with passengers that are not paying passengers. These are the cruise credit passengers that they've been carrying since the beginning of COVID. Thankfully, they're getting through that list and it's getting smaller and smaller, which means more and more passengers are cash paying customers, fresh new cash versus the old credits that they handed out. So the hope for the cruise lines is that next year will be the first year of profits because 90% of all people on board ships should be the new bookings that they've been making lately. Now we'll see how this all holds up. It's amazing. It's my favorite place in the world, but Bermuda is not making it easy to visit at this point in time. Kimberly Mygold, number 36 thumbs ups. Hi, Bruce from Rush, Rochester, New York. Kimberly, it's $3.89 a gallon here for gas. Jeannie, Sharon, I guess we paid the fee. We cruised in Bermuda 19. Fun. The pink sand was disappointing, though. Love to you. And Brittany, hi there, Bruce. And sorry I'm late. Welcome, Brittany, to the show. Sharon, Jeannie, the TSA wasn't in effect in 19. It's a post-COVID development. I flew there in February 2020, and there was no TSA at that time. Kimberly is saying, and Aaron, I'm not sure what that means, but welcome, Kimberly. Sharon, 40 thumbs up, 60 to go. We got 40. This is awesome. Thank you, everybody, for these thumbs ups. Kimberly, oops, and ain't the entertainers contract employees and is constantly not 100% secure? Well, they get these contracts. That's correct. They'll get like a 6-month contract, and then during the when they're on that contract, they might be offered another one. And so I know that my friend, his son, he was able to. I think he worked for them for 5 or 6 years, and I think there was one point where he took a 6-month sabbatical. He took a pure 6-month break off on his own volition, and then came back for like 1 or 2 more years and finished off. But he did rather well. He met a gal. They became an item. They are now married with 2 children. And so he got a lot out of his career. I'll tell you that. And so did she, because they were both dancers and they're very happy. Sharon, I'd rather no show than Oasis putting on Cats. No show than Cats. There you go. Lee Shear is in the house. Lee, how are you, buddy? Number 48 on the thumbs up meter. Thank you, sir. You're almost getting us to the halfway mark. This is awesome stuff. Jeannie, Sharon, I guess we missed it. Thanks for the info sponsor. Sharon, Brittany Anderson, Bruce, this is a bit of old news for you, but everyone else, it is not. But I finished that puzzle I've been working on and I'm hoping to start the next one around Labor Day. That's 1,000 piece puzzle that Sharon was working on. She got it done. I think she put her head down and worked on it pretty hard. Pretty good stuff there, Sharon. Jeannie, laughing out loud anytime. Robert, are the casinos on the cruise ships big money makers? The shows on the ships are fantastic. The casinos are big money makers, yes. What you might not be aware of is that the casinos are a separate department, and while the machines and the tables and the blackjack dealers, all that's all handled under contract. That's done by casino operators, but the cruise line works hand in hand. Well, they actually work very hard to attract gamblers to the cruise line, and the casino itself, the manager of the casino, and their entire staffs, their marketing staffs, they have lists, email lists, mailing lists of people that they want to send offers to come on board and have a good time. And I get all the time flyers in the mail because when you go to the casino, you want to play a slot machine, you're going to need a card. You can use your room card now. I'm not even sure how this works anymore with these new chips, but the last time I was on a ship, you use your room key to load up a slot machine and play, and it would just charge your account and you could play. But they would be able to track your points on this as well. It used to be you had a casino card and you would track your points on the casino card and you get a t-shirt or something. But what they do with that is they track your play, and then they'll send you flyers in the mail offering you a free cruise certain times of the year. Depending on how much you gamble, it's the kind of room you're going to be offered. So you might be offered an inside room, you might be offered a balcony, you might be offered an owner's suite. It all depends on what kind of action you put through the machines. And yes, they will offer up a very nice balcony suite, an owner's suite that might run $2,000 a day for a week. They'll offer up a $14,000 suite if the slot player in there, or the husband and the wife or whatever, if you are frequenting the casino and throwing some serious money around, they will comp you everything, just like they would in Vegas. They'll comp you everything to get you to be on their property without a doubt. It is big money. Donnell, yep, I got the notification of the big show a little late tonight. Gas near me is around 190 a liter in euros. Still too much, you know. Your secret location is safe with me. Even if I knew where you were staying, it would be safe with me. Sharon, I really miss Bermuda. We were supposed to fly there the 4th of July weekend, but then COVID came along. Brittany, that is when I hope to have all the puzzles glued together and hanging by. Oh, right on. Brittany, I know you're going to put this thing together. It's going to be great. Jeannie, loving what Sharon is doing. Donnell, well done, Brittany, for finishing that puzzle. Ms. N, HML, All America doesn't do the big shows like Royal Caribbean and Norwegian, but rather musical presentations. Eddie Albert, cruise baby, if you fake test results, toss them overboard. Louise, listening to Bruce or watching the Bachelorette on Virgin. What do I do? What do I do? We've got to get rid of a troll here, so let me get rid of this troll. See if that'll work. Sorry about that. Diane is here. It's so sad that I won't be able to cruise anymore. I refused the jab. Actually, refusing the jab now doesn't matter. Starting September, you'll be able to cruise without the jab. Terry, spammer alert. Yeah, we got him. Kimberly, and of course, wage rates are not increasing at the same rate of cost of everything. Louise, my Canada cruise seemed expensive, but okay. But okay. Kimberly, but is there cruise credits? Are the cruise credits paying out at the rates equal to what someone without credits pay? Are cruise credits paying out? I don't know. I'm not sure. Chaco, ES, American Expat living in Spain. Bruce, I've been trying to cruise for a while now. The prices are insane. $3,000 for a 7-day Mediterranean cruise for a single passenger. You know, my friend, for you, it might even be cheaper. I mean, it sounds crazy. It might be cheaper for you to fly to the U.S. and do a 7-day cruise within the Caribbean out of Miami or Fort Lauderdale, and then fly home. It's ridiculous, but it might be true. Brittany, my husband, has recently seen gas at $3.22 in Pensacola. Kimberly, now I met someone and got married. There's a contract. That's right. You should have seen the bride and groom dance. You know, when you have the music for the first dance for the bride and groom, they put on a show. I'll tell you, they had no problem with the bride and groom dance whatsoever. They were twirling all over the floor, and he's throwing her up, and oh my gosh. Eddie, watch the new bookings with self-texts Fake tests will increase. How can the next wave be controlled? Insurance, I don't know. Kimberly, I have booked people on cruises. Any of them that have the casino rates are crazy good. So they must spend a lot of money on board. I suspect they do. Brittany, Bruce, it was a 500-piece one. My next one is 1,000. And it's not rectangular. Oh, this is going to be unbelievable. Brittany, it is crazy. Sharon, 54 thumbs ups now. We're over halfway on our goal for 100 thumbs ups. You guys are awesome. Thank you all so much for throwing these thumbs ups at us. If you're able to hit the thumbs up button, let us know what number you are tonight. Thank you, guys. You are awesome tonight. And unfortunately, we came back from our cruise just over a week ago and both tested positive for COVID. Fully vaxxed with boosters. Feeling better, but it takes a lot out of you. Isn't it amazing? I've been amazed at how many of my viewers have said this on these Monday night big shows. They tell us they go on a cruise, and a week or two later, they're positive. It is something really. Jeannie, we only walked through the casino once. Bill found a quarter on the floor, so we're ahead of the game. We're up 25. We're keeping it. Diane, congrats on finishing your puzzle. Brittany, Terry Gallant, cruises book on supply and demand. With cruises opening up to unvaccinated passengers, rates are sure to be high. Vaccination rates. Blair, trolls are fun for a minute, but yes, delete it. Thanks, Uncle Bruce. Island Girl, I'm number 54. Blair, I'm number 57. Oh, wow, we're coming up to 60 thumbs ups. Are you guys kidding me? That's incredible. Thank you all so much. I got news for you. So why don't we get into that? I'll tell you what's going on and fill you in on the latest news that I've been coming up with here. You may have heard some of this. You may not have. Let's see what's going on. First of all, on the Princess Cruise Line, heard today that they're now going to take delivery of their first ever liquid natural gas cruise ships. They got two of them coming in. They got the first one in late 2023 and the next one in early 2025. So I guess about a year and a half after the first one. The first one's being built as we speak already. They're known as the Sphere class. They're calling them the Sphere class. 175,000 tons with 4,300 passengers. These ships will be the largest ships that Princess will be operating once they're in the water. So you're going to hear a lot about this. This is going to be a big deal. We're going to hear a lot about the hype coming up and all that sort of stuff. So 4,300 passengers. I can imagine that the crew should be about 2,200 crew. So it'll be 6,500 people on board these ships. Late 2023. So that's about a year and a quarter from now. And then a year and a half after that, the second one will come up. We're going to get a ton of promo on this. I mean, I'll be talking about it. We'll hear a lot about this. Now, on Carnival, the news came out today that two of their ships, they have cruises coming up in August here, August 20th to 28th and August 22nd to 31. So we're talking like now. The Carnival Legend and the Carnival Magic. The Carnival Cruise Line has notified all passengers that had booked and ordered up premium Wi-Fi. They told these folks it's not available on these two ships. Apparently, I found this kind of odd. Apparently, the satellites, the positioning of the satellites for Carnival are not correct. The alignment is off for where these two ships will be at this time. And so they're offering refunds and sorry and via copas and all that sort of stuff. Interesting. Now, the Cayman Islands announced today that in 2 days, the 24th of August, you can arrive in the Cayman Islands by cruise ship or by jet plane without having to have any restrictions regarding COVID anymore. That's no testing required. And it sounds like you don't even have to be jabbed anymore. So this is opening up. This is a common theme we're hearing now. St. Kitts and the Bahamas and other places, more and more of the places that cruise ships go to are now announcing a complete discontinuation of all COVID requirements. Can we call this really good news? or do we call this short-sighted decisions? There's only one way to know. Time will tell us what's going to happen here. Kimberly, by the way, thank you, Kimberly. COVID just seems to have been the new flu. When will it not be so bad? Diane, I am number 45. Nathan, now here's Bruce with the news. There you go. Kimberly, are the cruise lines still having a hard time getting employees? Indeed, they are. Sharon, 60 thumbs ups, Bruce. You only need 40 more, and you got 100 on this show. Unbelievable. You guys are awesome. Donnell, 60, buddy. You got 60. Diane, Kim, COVID is a virus. Even if you only have a cold, you will test positive. Island Girl, going on a cruise from Tampa in November of 2022. Can't believe the price of hotel rooms these days going up, eh? Isn't that something? Nathan, you moved the microphone. Nathan, good now. And Christine, I am number 60. Right on, Christine. Thank you. Okay, more news. Okay, here's some more news. Now, Princess announced, it might have been yesterday or today, but there has been an announcement by Princess Cruise Line. I'd like to know what you think about this. I want to know what you think about this. I think what they're doing is kind of what Norwegian has already been doing for a number of years. And what I'm talking about is Princess is offering anyone who makes a reservation and pays for their room in full, you will be made an offer, you'll be given an opportunity to make a bid for an upgrade. Now, something tells me the way this is going to work is probably similar to how Norwegian does it already. You kind of get a sliding scale thingy, and it sort of starts at a certain number. It might start at $150 a person, or $200 a person, $100 a person, whatever it is, and it slides up to maybe $1,000 a person more. And depending on what room you booked, you can move up a couple of notches. So from an inside to an ocean view, maybe a balcony, or from an ocean view to an obstructed balcony to a balcony, or maybe a balcony to a superior balcony, or to a suite, or a superior balcony to a suite to an owner suite, and so on and so on and so on. And you're able now, if you pay for your unit, you are then given an opportunity, if there's availability, to upgrade to a higher grade cabin. Now, I'm assuming that this is all to do with when available, because if the ship is fully booked out, there's no way you're going to upgrade. You can't upgrade. You're locked in to what you bought, and that's the end of it. What I wonder about is this really worth it? Because if you know a travel agent well, if you relate it to one, it would be handy. But travel agents, your brother, your uncle, or someone as a friend of yours, they might be able to show you on their computer screen. They can say to you, look, here's the brutal reality. Okay, you can go from an ocean view to a restricted view on a balcony for maybe only $100 a person more. And if you want to go to a full-blown unobstructed view, it might be another $100 more. Whereas these bidding things, you might be paying $300 more to move up a level where it really would have only run you $150 more, and you're paying way more than you should be paying. I wonder if that's possible, if that's truly doable. I kind of wonder, and I kind of have a suspicion that where there's a deal, it might come in the area where you've booked a balcony, and now you're going for a really nice upgrade to a suite, or a larger unit, much bigger unit, and that might be an $800 a person upcharge, and you're getting it for $250 each. So instead of spending $1,600, it's $500. The cruise line is getting $500 more out of you because no one's going to book the room anyway. I wonder how that goes. I wonder what your thoughts are on that. What do you support this? How do you feel about something like this? I know that cruise lines have. I know a number of you here who are avid cruisers. You are inside these cruise lines promo deals, and you're also members of the Latitude Club, the Frequent Cruiser Club, whatever they're called, okay? It's like frequent flyer clubs. The more you cruise, the more points you get. The more points you get, the higher your level is. The higher your level, the more perks you get, and so on. And so, for a number of you who watch me regularly, I know because you tell me that, yeah, we got a spa balcony at the price of a blah 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 balcony, and we also got this and this and this extra for no extra charge because of our loyalty to the cruise line. Well, I'm wondering if this is going to interfere with that, because now people are paying to get an upgrade or a potential upgrade where loyalty clients don't pay extra. They just get these perks. And I'm wondering if the cruise lines are, in this particular cruise line, which is a Carnival owned outfit, Princess is Carnival, they're sticking their toe in the water, and will they go Carnival wide on this program? Will this go completely across all Carnival brands over the next year or two? Something to watch out for. I think so. Sharon, we're at the point where the smart people are vaccinated and don't suffer serious COVID complications, and the others risk hospitalization or worse. But that's on them at this point. I hear you there. Kimberly, however, I have heard that not all travel agents will follow through watching the notifications from the cruise lines for the bidding. Interesting. Kimberly, and once you pay in full, even way in advance, that messes with your changing rates if they go down. See? Interesting. Mermaid C is here, says hi. Hello, Mermaid C. Thank you all for being here. We have 68 people here. We got 61 thumbs ups. I thank you so much. I got some more news for you. Hit the thumbs up button for us if you can. Get us as close to 100 as humanly possible before we shut this show down. I wonder, is it possible I can get 39 more thumbs ups before I go off the air tonight? Ooh, it's exciting. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Okay, so Celebrity has announced that they're dropping all COVID requirements on their cruise line. We've already heard this news from, I think we've heard this from Royal Caribbean already. Now Celebrity, brand of Royal Caribbean. Regent Seven Seas, perhaps. No, not Regent. Regent's Norwegian, isn't it? What's the third cruise line? Is it Azamara? Is Royal Caribbean? Azamara is mainly UK, and Britain. UK and Europe. They may not be as loosey goosey as Royal Caribbean and Celebrity. I do know that if a cruise ship is going to Canada, you can't get on the ship if you haven't been vaccinated. You're going to have proof of vaccination. And I think you might have to have proof of a negative test in 48 or 72 hours prior to coming to Canada. I think that likely will end soon if it hasn't already, but the vaccine is still a mandatory as far as I know. Mermaid C, do you know anything about cruises that go to Hawaii? Do I know anything about them? Well, ask me the question you'd like to know. I'll do what I can. If I don't have the answer, maybe one of my viewers does. So ask away. With upgrades, you don't get to choose the specific room, just the class. So you might be under or over a noisy venue. And there is another issue with this whole kind of a program. You paid, you studied the deck plans. You've been on the ship before, maybe. You've been on a similar class of ship, the same version, a different name. And now you know not to be on deck, whatever, in this area of the ship because the disco is there or the pool deck is there or whatever the issue is. And so you've carefully chosen your room and you booked it. And now you get this offer that says, hey, do you want to try it for an upgrade from as little as so much money to this much money? You might be upgraded into this kind of a room that would normally be this much money. And what happens if you get it and then you get on the ship and you find out, oh my God, right outside our doors, the elevators, the lobby, we're right near this or that. I don't know. I kind of wonder though, if you've managed to book into something like a suite, you can't imagine that a suite would be in a noisy area of the ship. After all, they usually charge top dollar for a place like this. You don't want to have complaints. But I suppose if you're in a neighborhood, a high-end neighborhood, but you're in the cheapest room in that neighborhood, There's a reason why that's the lowest price room in that neighborhood. Maybe there are pipes behind a wall you don't want to hear or something. Again, these are good points. Miss M, you make a very good point here. Kirk, with the very good deal I received for my MSC cruise, I also will get a $200 on board credit. Kirk, you know what you're doing now. You are a pro at this. And I congratulate you, sir. You are a very wise cruise shopper now. You know what you're doing. Eddie, elite with a celebrity upgrades do not pay. Had an opportunity to go into a royal suite. Not worth it for the minimum bid of $1,000 a person. Yikes. Mermaid, has anyone seen on Norwegian ship called the Pride of America that stays in Hawaii? Yes. Has anyone been on it? I know that Sharon and her husband wanted to go on that ship, but has anyone actually been on Pride of America? Because it plies the waters around Hawaii and only Hawaii. It's staffed by U.S. crew or green card holders. Sharon, if the Canada testing requirement lifts, I'd look into a spring 4 or 5 day cruise. And Mike's zone number 65, Bruce. I am number 65. I'm getting you 2/3 of the way up this meter here. When do you think you might hop back on a cruise ship? When are you talking about going on a cruise? Well, we have a couple of overhanging issues right now that we have to contend with, and the number one thing is Jennifer is her hip, and we've got to get that resolved, and that will take through this winter before we are hopefully are through this. Hopefully it's well behind us at that point, and then we'll see what goes on next. So we'll keep you posted, Mike. I promise. As soon as we know, you'll know. Jeffrey Fritz, you could get a suite that connects to another suite and the noise comes through the door. I hear you there. That's another problem. Kimberly, I have wondered about suites for a while. On Princess specifically, right under the Lido deck. And I've heard a lot of people don't want to be under the pool, dragging chairs around a lot. See, that's the thing, right? You got the staff in the morning moving lawn chairs, those loungers all over the place. They're making a racket. Then all day long, it's a racket. Then at night, they're moving stuff around. And sometimes they have fireworks going off, and you're right under it. Yeah, I know this can be an issue. Jeffrey, on an upgrade that is, right, Sharon, we canceled our Pride of America cruise. I was too nervous about flying that distance and then worrying that something could go wrong with the cruise. I will cruise or fly right now, but not both. There you go. Interesting. Kimberly, hip, I thought she had a bad knee. I've missed a little bit though. She has both. She has a hip and a bad knee, but the knee apparently is going to be looked after here very shortly. And we might be out of the woods with that. Cross our fingers, but it's the hip that's next. We'll keep you posted, Sharon. But we're going to fly to Hawaii in 3 weeks and stay at one of the Hiltons on points. Now you're talking. Right on, Sharon. Way to go. Mermaid Sea, I'm going to Hawaii in 2023. Right on. Yeah. Fantastic. Okay, I have one more piece of news for you. I thought I caught this news and I thought this is interesting. And I'd like to get your thoughts on this if you want to share them. Thank you all for being here, by the way. It comes out of American Airlines. I read today that discussions are getting ready to start between the pilots union and the airline for American Airlines. Now, those of you who are familiar with American, there's the American Eagle, and then there's the American Jet Fleet. Now, as far as I've been able to put together on this story, the pilots union has kind of publicly already mentioned that here's what we're expecting, kind of thing. The deal is likely, they typically sign 3-year contracts. So the pilots union and American Airlines try to sign 3-year deals that gives both parties some certainty and, just make money, fly, and then negotiate 3 years from now on another deal. Well, the current 3-year deal is coming up, and the pilots union is saying that unless it contains a 20% raise for the pilots over the 3 years in total, don't even bring an offer to the table. We're not interested. Now, the company has indicated that they're thinking about 16%. So, you divide that by three and you're talking five something percent a year, 6%, 5%, 5%, that's 16. The union is saying 20. So that's got to be 7, 7, and 6, or 8, 6, and 6. That's where they're coming from. Now, here's something I found interesting. Did you know that if you're flying for American Airlines and you average 80 hours a month of flight time, that's 20 hours a week flying. And keep in mind, of course, if you're flying 20 hours a week, 80 hours a month, 20 hours in a week, and I know, you got to get from your house to the plane, the airport, and the plane. You got to do the pre-flight checks. You have to then land where you're landing, go through the post-flight stuff, maybe fly the plane back out, back to where you came from. I don't know. It isn't like, oh, they only work 20 hours a week. No, pilots don't just work 20 hours a week. They're working 40 hours a week, and they're in charge of our lives. And so, there's a lot of pressure on these guys. But here's something interesting. I found this interesting. Did you know that if you're a narrow body rated pilot, so you're flying like a 737, a 757, a single aisle plane, that if you fly 80 hours a month on average, that the average pay for these guys is $267,000 a year, a little over $5,000 a week. Now, if you're a wide-bodied pilot, you're flying 777s, you're flying 787s, 767s, any wide-body jet with two aisleways, you're looking at an average pay packet of $329,000, $6,500 a week for an 80-hour a month flying time. But it's, in all kinds of weather, and it's all over the world, and you're constantly being retrained, and, you're in top shape, and, you're mandatorily finished at a certain age. You're done for. You make your money where you can. I found that interesting. So anyway, those discussions are about to begin, and the speculation is now, will they be able to come up with a deal, or do the pilots for American Airlines go on strike? And I don't know when this is going to happen, but let me give you my best guess. You think it'll be around Christmas time? You think that they might go on strike just around like December 15th until the 3rd? Or do you think it'll start right around Thanksgiving, like the few days before Thanksgiving, and last through Christmas? How long is that strike going to go on for if these guys are only a few points apart? I don't know if that's really going to happen. We'll have to see how this works out. Anyway, isn't that interesting, huh? Yeah, interesting. Anyway, there you go. Thank you, everybody. Rocky says, I work with my travel agent to book specific rooms and not trust the cruise line to give me an upgrade to any kind of a class. Interesting. Ms. M, Mermaid C, watch Pero DJ. They are YouTubers who recently documented their cruise and stay in Oahu. Kimberly, only flying to Hawaii. Airfares are finally dropping. Now rental cars, crazy high still in Hawaii. Jeannie, we don't want to fly to Hawaii again. 2017 Knoxville to Dallas, Fort Worth, and another 4,000 miles to Hawaii. Great fun, but too much airtime. Blair, Uncle Bruce, you mentioned the low river levels in Western Europe. A friend went to France for a river cruise the other day. I guess the boats go where they can go. That's right. They can only go where they can go. That's true. And the word is that in some cases, the river levels are barely 6 inches high enough to accommodate river cruise ships in some cases. So yeah, it's getting grim over there. Christine, can unvaccinateds go to Alaska? in 2023. Not through Canada, no. If the cruise line has to stop in Canada, unvaccinated cannot go on a cruise ship. No way. Not yet. Sharon, I'm chuckling because pre-negotiation demands mean nothing. It's all posturing at this point on both sides. You know it. I know it. Sharon, 70 thumbs ups, 30 to go. Is this something else? You guys are awesome tonight. Thank you so much for helping out. 70 are in. We need 30 more, and we got 100. We haven't had 100 viewers here at a time tonight. We've been in the 60s and 70s. So some of you guys, there's a rotation going on, and you're coming in, and you're giving us a thumbs up. You're telling us what number you are, and I thank you. Sharon is keeping track of this. This is awesome. Kimberly, okay, I'm addicted to air disasters on the Smithsonian Channel. They show how the pilots work and air traffic controllers, all of them. It's really interesting. Kelly is here. Kelly Haston, how are you doing? Hey there, TWB. Kelly here, just checking in with you all. Welcome, Ms. Kelly Haston, to the show. It's great to have you here. I hope you're doing well. Island Girl, imagine pilots and aircrew are constantly doing competencies to stay current. Yeah, they sure are. Always being tested. Cloud 7, why couldn't the pilots go on strike during the pandemic? Hey, how about that? Yeah, laughing a lot. Sharon, Jeannie will be flying to Hawaii from Newark. It's a long flight, but at least it's reasonable drive to the airport. So there you go. You know, you want to go, you got to go. It's the 51st state out in the Pacific. It's a ways. What can I say? Cloud 7. I know that your other channel is taking most of your time, but do you still keep in touch with Don and Tony? Don Terrace and our friend Tony, whose birthday it is today. Happy birthday, Tony. Today it's his birthday. I haven't talked to him. No, I haven't talked to him. As a matter of fact, I believe it was last year when I kickstarted the stock market channel and I was going live during the stock market hours. I think it was about a month into that, like a month or 6 weeks in. And I was on my stock market show talking about the markets, and Tony popped into the chat on my stock market channel. And he said, here you are. I've tracked you down. I was wondering where you were hanging out. And Tony knew that what had happened was this channel, the TWB channel, was my first channel. It's 5 years old now. And after a year of struggling to get it going, it began to generate some revenue so I could live off of, get by on this channel. And then COVID hit. And this channel began to suffer, like all travel channels started to suffer because we were all grounded. And I created the second channel. And what I didn't know when I created the second channel was 6 months after starting it, that would be January 2021, a year ago, January. What I didn't know was that when I would go live at that time, that channel would go from 2,000 subscribers to 106,000 subscribers in 3 months. I had no idea that would happen to that channel, but it did. And that parabolic explosion with, subscribers, and then many more that weren't subscribers that were just watching, the channel just blew out so dramatically. And the cash flow from that channel just dominated everything on YouTube. And of course, I had to decide, where to spend my time and energy with the momentum. And this channel was getting quieter and quieter. And that one was going nuts because, of course, we had no cruises. We knew we wouldn't cruise for another 6 months. And I was telling you guys, we're not cruising in 2020 or 21 probably. And sure enough, it came true for the most part. So the other channel just took over and then has done more business for me than this channel ever has done, ever. And it's completely changed our finances. And so for Tony and Don, I haven't been able to get together with them. And thankfully, I'm happy to report Both of those guys and many of the other cruise channels out there, they've all survived COVID. They've all gotten through it. They're all cruising on cruise ships now. You're able to now watch your YouTube personalities on board cruise ships, which is great. Tony and Don are taking cruise after cruise after cruise. Fabulous. I couldn't be happier. And their numbers, their subscriber numbers are way up. Their views are way up. They're making a nice living now off of YouTube as well after years of hard work. I mean, I know in Tony's case, he did a video talking about how he makes his money. And his wife is a travel agent. He's the media guy. And then they got all these different levels of income, and they cobblestone together all of that to make a living. And I couldn't be happier. They've earned it. And then, of course, our really good friend of this channel is Emma Latisse in the UK. And I always told Emma that this is 4 years ago. I told Emma, you're going to become the big one. You're going to become the big channel for cruising. There's no doubt in my mind. You're the youngest. You're so enthusiastic about cruising. You really know your stuff. You do really good quality work, and you do live shows. You're friends with everybody. Everybody loves you. You're going to be the #1 cruise channel. And she's on her way. She's well on her way to becoming the #1 cruise channel of all cruise channels. And she's out of the UK, and she's just doing a fabulous job. And I would not be surprised if she one day gets approached by a major entity, maybe a television network from the UK, will bring her on to do videos, to do a weekly or a monthly 10-minute report about the cruise business that she'll couple in with her YouTube channel, or who knows. I can see a future, real exciting future for her, really exciting. I'm excited. Sharon, 50th state. We're still on number 50. Oh, okay. But you guys need to get to 51. What's with Puerto Rico? When are you going to take that one over? Come on. Puerto Rico wants to be 51, don't they? Blair, Kimberly, me too on the air disasters. I love that stuff. Kimberly, Sharon, it is that crazy. Washington, D.C., not a state, but huge. It makes people question the number of states. Yeah, Washington, D.C. could be 51 and Puerto Rico 52. That would make some sense. Kimberly, Blair, my favorite part of air disaster is how it is all a learning thing, and they're so polite about the disaster itself. Blair, not the same, Tony. That always sold goods that fell off the back of a truck, right? Not that one. Sharon, 75 thumbs ups are in the house. You only need 25 more to hit 100 thumbs ups. 3/4 of the way has been done with these folks right here, and the folks who've already turned over here. This is awesome. You guys are great. If you're watching on the rerun, hit the thumbs up button for us. Get us over 100 if we haven't done it already, and get us well beyond 100 if we have done 100. Thank you all so much. Blair saying, Kimberly, complete agreement. There you go, complete agreement there. So fabulous stuff. Yes, things have really evolved on the YouTube over the years. I had no idea when I started this channel that it would ever be about cruise ships, and it turned into that. And the crazy thing is that Jennifer and I couldn't go on cruise ships when we wanted to go. We wanted to go on cruise ships back in, 2020 and 2021. We had group cruises booked. They all got canceled. And now here we are, we're able to go on cruises now, theoretically, but we can't go because Jennifer's hip is degenerated to this point. So now we can't. So we have to delay now for this. I mean, it just blows my mind. But when the time comes, the time will come, because we love going on cruises. We really enjoy them. And there's a few ships I'd kind of like to see myself in real life. So we'll see how this, kind of works out. There's a few places I'd like to cruise to. I haven't cruised to yet. I did notice, I don't know if you know this, but there is a channel I do enjoy, which I have mentioned many a time. It's called Kara and Nate, Kara and Nate, Kara and Nate. They have a wonderful channel, travel channel, and they are releasing videos right now of a 5-part. Part 1 is out, 4 more to go. Trip to the North Pole on a Pona ship. which left, I think, out of Norway, some way up north, Norway. And it was a 2-week cruise to the North Pole and back. And they've done video number 1. And it's a tour of the ship and their cabin. I'd recommend, you'd love these two. These two are fabulous people. I've been watching their channel for 4.5 years. Jim Zim recommended the channel to me when I talked to Jim Zim about 4.5 years ago. And I wish him well. I don't know if he watches, but the best to Jim. If anyone talks to Jim, please let him know that I pass on my best wishes. But he said, you should watch Karen Nate. These two guys are amazing. And at the time, they had about 140,000 subscribers. And I thought, oh, this is a big channel, 140,000 subscribers. I had 25,000. Now they've got 2+ million. 2 million subscribers worldwide, obviously. And they travel everywhere. They just do all kinds of neat stuff. Anyway, they're doing a 5-part video thing on the North Pole. So there should be another video out maybe as early as tomorrow, number 2. So if you check them out, check out number 1 and become a subscriber, and you'll get notified when they bring out part 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. They've done a number of cruises over the 4 years I've watched them, but they're not a cruise channel. They've loved flying on with minimal stuff, and they use a lot of points. That's their specialty, is they use a lot of points on their credit cards. And they've also done a lot of traveling in a van that they got, a Sprinter van, because they had to. They couldn't travel internationally, so they just started traveling across the U.S. in a Sprinter van. They've loved doing that. And so they've got a whole bunch of fans that watch them for everything they do. It's an incredible variety. I'd love to meet them someday. They are a fascinating couple. And anyway, there you go. Island Girl, I haven't watched for a while. Bruce, do you still do trivia nights? I don't do trivia. I used to do trivia nights. And I tell you, the last time, like the last 3 months I was doing trivia nights, I was always keeping track of my statistics. But what I found was I would announce, I would do a trivia night every week. And we got down to like 15 people. It was a core love affair with trivia followers, but we used to have hundreds of to do it, and it went down to like 15. It just didn't catch on and expand in any way, probably because of the host. I mean, look at this face. You want to look at this face during trivia night? Come on. So that must have been it. And so it eventually faded away, and the other channel has taken a lot of my energies, obviously, too. Blair, Uncle Bruce, I'm sure we'll all love to watch you on PBS or something with your travels. Your narrations and videos from your last trip were fantastic. I've got a couple more to make about that European trip. I have to admit, I've been behind, but I have a couple of more videos to make about the big trip to Europe, which will come up. So look for those. I enjoy making them. I watch Ben and David, but I have to look them up, he says. Kimberly, biggest trivia question, when will Jen be okay to travel? That is the big trivia question. And we are working with our doctor now, and we have clinics. We're lining it all up, and it's a project, but we will keep you posted. We're getting down the road here to getting Jen back to her usual feisty self, because right now she can hit if I'm within range, but right now to hit she has to throw something, and that's not good. Empty beer bottles and bricks, they cause damage to hotel rooms. We don't want that, so we're gonna get her looked after so she can get within striking distance again. I'm not sure if that's such a good thing, but it is what it is. There you have it. There you go. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. 78 thumbs ups are now registered on this telecast. This is absolutely unbelievable. 78. There's 60 people here showing you just how great you guys are. You guys are so loyal to this channel. I thank you all so much. If you want to become a member of this channel, hit the join button down here somewhere. Join us every Monday at 7 o'clock Eastern for members only. The Hangout Show from 7 to 8. Then the big show right here, 8 o'clock every Monday night. Keep your eyes open for my next series of videos on that European trip. The last time I saw Emma Cruz was about 2 weeks ago. She was describing her last cruise, a European river cruise on a barge. I think she enjoyed it, didn't she? She was surprised, I think, about how she liked it. Yeah, she tries different things. Of course, she's young and single, or has a boyfriend maybe, but she's out there. She is exploring, and I really am proud of her. She was able to quit her day job and do what she is passionate about, which is this business, the cruise business. She liked it a lot. That's right, Rocky. You got it. Yeah, I'm really happy for her. She's a full-time cruiser now, full-time cruiser, reporter, explorer, taking us with her on her trips, letting us in on what's going on. You gotta love it. You just gotta love it that someone like that can take the plunge and get away from that day job, that she was just I mean, she was saying it on the air too. It's a job. So yeah, she's left coworkers behind who are probably wondering, I wonder what it's like for her. Well, I'm sure it's a lot more exciting now than it was then. And with COVID lifted more or less, she's able to travel, and she gets invites all the time to all kinds of news events and ship anniversary events or christenings and naming ceremonies. Way to go, Emma. I'm really happy for her. She deserves all the success she gets. So Tony and Don, I love those guys. They're hard workers. They never stop. They are who they are. I'm sure that if you met them in person, they're exactly like they are on the air. Kimberly, 82 thumbs ups. You are almost there, Bruce. You're only 18 away from 100 thumbs ups. How close is that? That's pretty good stuff. Yeah, I'm happy for both of those guys and all the other YouTubers. There's a number of them who have been working hard now the last 3 years through all this, virus crap and everything else. A lot of the travel channels had a tough time, and thankfully I had the stock market to fall towards because of my experience over the years. But honestly, I did not think it would take over most of my time, but it has. It absolutely has. It's that channel is paying the bills and then some. And at this age, it's building the retirement account, and that's I'm motivated to work as hard as I can until I can't anymore, and get some travel in the meantime. You can come with us for sure. I hope you enjoyed our trips, our travels into Europe. They weren't the best movies ever made, videos ever made, but we did them on the fly and tried to take you along as best as we could. But as I say, I've got a couple more coming out, so look for those, and hope you'll enjoy those as well. And soon, I would like to be able to announce developments on the cruise front, and we'll see if we can get ourselves on a cruise ship again, and then we can see each other in person, which would be great. Really, there's a number of you I'm looking forward to seeing. Absolutely, whether it's at the port city of departure or arrival, or on the cruise ship itself. Somehow we'll see if we can make this happen. Fantastic. Cloud 7 Travel, great show, Bruce. Have a good night and get rested for the crazy market again tomorrow. Yes, I have to get up at 4:30 in the morning, my time. It's 7:14 here in Calgary. So I've got to get up in, 9 hours? Get ready for another day of live shows over there. Kimberly, thank you, Bruce, always for your efforts. Thank you guys so much for joining us here. Jen and I do appreciate you. Thank you for these thumbs ups that you've given us. 81 thumbs ups. We only need 19 from the rerun folks, and I'm pretty darn sure they'll come through for us. They always do. They send me messages saying, I'm thumbs up so-and-so, I'm thumbs up so-and-so, I'm thumbs up so-and-so. It's fabulous. Looking forward to meeting up with you and Jen on a cruise. Robert, you got it, buddy. That's going to be a good time. I am looking forward to it, and I know we're going to appreciate it a lot. Sharon, have a great night, Bruce, and all the best to Jen. You got it, everybody. Take care of yourself. Stay healthy for me. Watch yourselves, and we'll see you next Monday night for the big show right here, 8 o'clock. And we'll let you know if anything comes up in the meantime. Take care, everybody. Have a great week. This is Bruce from a secret location in Calgary saying bye for now. We'll see you next week. Ms. M, you take care of yourself too. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.